Huntsville, another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Hey, good morning. Welcome in. It's those last minute little scooches. You know what my dad called it? Oh, hold on. Let's make sure the audio's working before we get rolling here this morning. All right. Hey, we're good, Rick. Audio's good. We're good. Here we go.
Well, and you started on time.
We started on time, right at well, when Kaye Boehning is here, you better be on time.
Yeah, I was here before her.
You were here at 6:29.
That's because he parked behind me. I couldn't leave before he did.
You were actually probably here earlier because I rolled up at 6:29 and you were already here. And I thought it was Kaye at first. I really did.
Well, I took her car because she said it was making a weird noise. What it is her breathing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like, it's not making a weird noise, but it can be. And then I saw you bumping it on the curbs and everything.
I made her take the Taylor Swift CD out. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of noise in there, Oh, welcome in. We have a great show lined up. We want to welcome everybody in this morning as we celebrate all things good happening here in our great community. Election night. We don't talk politics on the show, but we will obviously talk about election results because I think that's a good thing for our community. Celebrating that and just being thankful that we have the privilege to vote. There was 36,000 or so registered voters. 19% showed up. So,
wow.
Hopefully one day we can get that above. At least, I don't know what's a good number, 100%.
1 out of 5.
Yeah, so 1 out of 5 showed up. But, hey, you know what? You showed up. Those of you that did, thanks for getting out there and exercising that right. And had a couple of watch parties around town. We were at Rodeo last night, and that was a great watch party there. And a lot of fun. A lot of folks showed up. And, boy, Delphina does a great job over at Rodeo, doesn't she?
She does. She really does.
Recently, I got hooked on queso and tortillas. And, man, you just dip them bad boys in there. I usually get 4 or 6 of them. And it definitely helps out right here on on the
this is mainly Delphina right here.
Yeah, this is Delphina, and this is Rodeo and Fiesta Taqueria right here. So thank you, Delphina and Mandy, for God bless me with an appetite, and they're serving it. So they're doing the Lord's work. So thank you, ladies. We appreciate y'all very much. Hey, we do want to welcome you in as we get things rolling here on a Wednesday. And Jennifer Augustinetti, guess what it is? It is now a wonderful Wednesday. We can finally say
Wonderful.
that. I've been messing up. I said wonderful Tuesday
Yeah, well,
and wonderful Monday.
I think Monday you actually said it was Wednesday.
I may have.
I think you did.
I may have. The brain has been, all over the place lately, and that's the joy of things happening.
So it's queso that does that.
Queso does it, man. So, well, let us know you're out there. We already have a lot of friends that are joining in this morning, and we'll welcome everyone in here in just a few moments. We are here in our studio downtown. Big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery and Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers for his generous support and helping to make this studio possible. Those two gentlemen have been great to us, and we appreciate them very much. And, of course, on a Wednesday, couldn't be here without Kaye and Rick Boehning. And appreciate y'all very much up to Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. So good to have y'all.
Well, it's great to be here. I'm actually just the sidekick, though.
Yeah. What do they call it? Like what was that back in the day? Like when you'd go out on a date and there'd be like three people and you're like
Third wheel?
The third wheel. There was a dating show called The Fifth Wheel. Do you ever remember this show? These corny shows back in the 90s, and it was called The Fifth Wheel.
Never heard of it.
And there was two couples, and then they would throw in a fifth person, and that would be the one that disrupts everything.
Oh, my kind of job.
Yeah, so Rick would, I'm here, baby.
Anytime.
Just got back from rodeo. That'd be you and I. We'd have fun with that.
I would.
But then our significant others would probably kill us, but we'd have fun. So,
Well, mine probably doesn't really care that much.
So, well, it's good to be here. What have y'all been up to? I mean, a lot of things have been happening, great things going on at Tomorrow's Promise. Rick and I, we made a nice trip last week. I told Rick that I want to hang out with him on Tuesdays once in a while because he does the big runs on Tuesdays. But, outside of that, y'all are staying busy. What's been going on?
Well, finishing up Lasso and working on the third construction building, and drove to Oklahoma. My dad had surgery and left on Saturday and drove 525 miles and came back on Monday driving 525 miles. So it's been a very, very busy last few days.
Yeah, I got sleepy and she actually drove part of the way.
Are those, whenever you say the five, that's one way, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you're
it's
going
9-hour drive.
So one way there, one way back. And
Well, actually, there's multiple ways. We just take that way.
you just go the way that you want to go. Yeah. Do you go by the WinStar Casino, or is that out of the way?
Yeah, we go right by it.
Have you ever been in that place?
One time.
My
in
goodness.
all these years, one time.
You know that we've been over there once. Also, it was funny because Bridget and I, man, this was like our 1-year anniversary deal, and it's like 10 years ago, and we were driving. No, I remember it was when I still had my IT company. And I knew it was time to sell because I'd started getting to these like breaking points in business. Every business owner kind of has a breaking point. But I got to like serious breaking points where the guy that ran my front office told me, he's like, dude, you need to sell this business. Like, you need to get out of here. He told me. It was a young man that ran the front for me. And that was like a wake-up call. But we had contracts with companies. And I would get, and our contract specifically said, we will not offer support on the weekends. We just didn't.
Yeah.
Well, what happens? We did work for a church. God bless them. They'd call me every Sunday. What would I do? I'd help them, even though the contract said no. And you probably, if you're going to do a contract with the church, you should probably make sure that you serve them on Sunday because that's kind of a big day in church.
It is.
But then we also did work for an aquatic company that supplied lifeguards to HOAs. And, boy, it was chaotic over there. I love the lady that I always interacted with, but outside of that, it was just chaotic. You'd walk in and you could just feel – have you ever walked into a place and you can just feel the stress butter like oozing off of everything?
Every single day I walk into my office.
Come on, man.
But you're the only one that's in the office.
I know. It's my own office.
You remember
There's
what
a little stress bubble.
You weren't there, Kaye. Remember what I told you when I walked in over and saw you sitting at the desk? I said, it felt good. You remember me telling you that? I was like, this is fun.
But I don't usually sit there.
Well, you need to start sitting there.
No, I don't.
But man, this place, I literally, you could walk in and it's one of those, you just got to live by faith. And man, you couldn't see it, but you better believe it. And you walk in and you could just literally take in a piece of toast and just wipe it on the table, and boy, you could butter that toast. That's how thick the stress was in this place.
I honestly don't think I've ever been in a place like that.
Well, yeah, trust me. It took a good 30 years off of my life.
Did it?
To this day. And the doctor said, there is no getting that back, buddy. You blew it.
So you're about my age now.
Yeah, well, I'm probably older, man, and it was But I'll never forget, they called me on a Saturday and just started blowing, we need you. And I took 2 vacations in 12 years of running that IT company, or 14 years, 2 vacations. You need to take 2 vacations a year if you can. Don't wait. Don't do like it was terrible. But they were just, and I started yelling back. And you're not supposed to do that as a business owner. And Bridget, her jaw dropped because she had never seen me like that. And I said, my contract specifically states you will not call on a weekend. And I told him, I said, I am sick and tired of this. And I hung up on him.
Oh, my.
I didn't lose the contract.
That is hard to believe.
And it was one of those bad breaking moments. That's where the show Breaking Bad actually started from.
Is it?
It was someone
Somebody
in
had
that
a camera on you, right?
Someone in that restaurant heard me. I said, man, this would be a great show. And there were some bikers outside, and so they just started a TV show after that.
Anybody acts like that's got to be on drugs.
Yeah, so it was not good. But it was one of those situations to where I think even they were kind of like, wow, really? But it was kind of like, my dad always said, if you can dish it out, be able to take it back. So they were always dishing it out to me. So I finally threw it back at them. And I guess it kind of surprised them. They called me back and apologized. And then I felt bad and I apologized. And I said, look, I'm trying to take a vacation. And I said, Bridget and I are halfway to Oklahoma. And we ended up at the WinStar. And on top of that, here's what happened. We weren't even planning on going there, but we decided, hey, this is cool. Let's just go check it out. Because it's a mile long.
Well, it's got all those different facades on it, too.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool to drive by. And then guess what? We had already reserved this, Rick, a couple of days prior. So we get there, okay? We finally get there that night. And what happens? Oh, we're sorry. We have no record of that. We have no record of your name on the reservation. I said, dude, we had just drove like a good 9 or 10 hours like you guys from here. It's about the same, I guess, from Georgetown. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I said, you have no record of, and I said, here is the paper. I had it printed. I had the email. I said, what else do you need? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. Our computer must have crashed. They ended up giving us, they had like 4 of these corner suites. Mm-hmm. It's like something that you would see on that movie, what's the one, The Hangover? Man, it was like this huge room and like multiple little, it was like a mini, I wouldn't say,
house.
It was like a medium apartment. And they're like, wow, we're just going to give this to you. Then don't worry about it. We're sorry for the mistake. I was like, can y'all please make a mistake like this every time? And it was pretty awesome. So anyways, that's the story that I wanted to share. That's all we have for you on the show today. We hope you have just kidding. Want to welcome in those on Spirit Radio this morning. We got started at 7 a.m., but I did not fire up the Spirit Radio app. So those of you that are joining us on spiritradio.fm, welcome in this morning. We're having fun with Rick and Kaye Boehning of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We have a great show lined up today. Veterans Day coming up on Saturday, and we have Tara Burnett joining us. We're going to have a special giveaway today exclusively for veterans, or if you know a veteran. And so we want to make sure that, we didn't want to just do the regular daily giveaway because we wanted to make sure we have a very special plaque that we'll show here in a moment.
Beautiful.
Jamie Saucier brought this to us a couple of months ago, and I said, I'm going to save this for a special day. And then Tara Burnett has brought in some goodies as well, and we're going to be talking with her here in just a few moments, and we're excited. And Rick and I were talking before. I say, like, when I sing at church, there's like it's either really low or it's a little bit high. I'm missing that good octave in the middle. So people are always, oh, Rob, I bet you can sing. No, I can't because I missed that good octave, the octave that actually sounds good. And so I'm sitting there singing worship songs at church, and it's either really low or it's like really annoyingly high. And there was a sweet lady in front of me, and I think she was just being nice. And she may have gotten annoyed with me changing my octaves in the middle because I couldn't find the right one. Have you ever did that while you're singing? Like at church, you're like, should I sing this low because it's like a classic hymn? And then they start getting into it, and then you're like, then you sing a little bit higher, and then you can't figure out where you're supposed to be.
I usually just mouth the words.
It's a good way. So it just.
I'd give everybody around me earplugs.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, I probably should have done that. And all joking aside, it probably was because it was a little cold and the AC was blowing right on this lady. But she just looks at me. She goes, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to move a few rows in front of you. It's a little cold in here. And I said, it's probably my singing is what I told her. Anyways, I don't even know why I brought that up. ADD's kicking in this morning. So, but yeah, there we go. I had like 5 thoughts in my mind that just went out the window because I saw Robbie Diamonds drive by.
Yeah, I saw him too.
It's kind of like when you're sitting there talking and then you go, oh, squirrel. What were we talking about, Kay?
Squirrels.
Yeah. So, well, you mentioned earlier, I did want to mention Kaye and Rick Boehning here, Tomorrow's Promise. They do an excellent job. We are so excited. Going to have Braylon back in pretty soon with you guys. And
Looking forward to it.
I told her last night, I said, you ready to go back to school? And I told you this before we went on. The first word she said, she goes, friends? And she smiled really big. And so she absolutely loved being over there. Friends, I want to encourage you. You know, these Rick and Kaye are the education experts in our community. When it comes to setting the foundation for your children, there's nobody else in this community. I'm not saying it because they're here and because they support us. I've known y'all way before we even thought of Hello Huntsville or this show. And I've always said that about y'all. We had Braylon over there before we moved. I just want to encourage you, friends, this morning. A lot of what Braylon is doing now is because of those early steps that we took with her when she was just a year old or so. And she has really thrived, actually probably about 6 months, to be honest, because that's when I think we first got her over there. But she is saying sentences that are almost complete now.
I'm working on that myself.
Yeah, you're getting better, Rick. You're getting better. You know, it was so cool last night. We have a routine, and you know, I've mentioned it before, we bathe her, and then I read to her and all that. But now we've gotten the habit where she wants a water cup to take with her to bed. And she likes to hold her water. And it's just the little things that children do. I was sitting there filling up the cup, and she goes, are you filling it up, Daddy? I was like, where do you learn this from? It's a serious issue when you're drinking too much sodas, when your child that's not even 2 years old knows not only that Daddy drinks soda, but knows that Daddy specifically drinks Coke Zero. And she goes, you want a Coke Zero, Daddy? I was like, how do you know this? And I'm not, so she's telling me like Coke Zero, and I don't give her any of that, obviously. Like she's strictly water and a little bit of juice here and there and some milk, and that's it. And I'm so thankful that she's hooked on it. I will say this is some encouragement this morning. It's some joking inspiration. When I get a box of Oreos, man, the whole, you know, there's 3 rows, or is there 4 rows in an Oreo box? 4, I think.
Look at me.
I think there's 4. Well, when we get it, about 1.5 row is gone in the first setting. It's not good. It's not healthy. Coach Hooten with Sam Houston basketball told me one time. I said, Coach, man, I just ate a whole row of Oreos in the box. He goes, dude, that's not good. I said, I know it's not good. And now they have like the mega ultra stuff. Here's the encouragement this morning. Be like my daughter. I give her 1 little Oreo cookie, and, man, it takes her 2 hours to nibble at that thing. I said, my God, if I could just eat an Oreo cookie like Braylon, I'd be okay. So there you go. Eat like Braylon, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Rick's like, forget that idea.
I'm not an Oreo fan, but there are things I will munch on.
What, are you a cookie fan, period? Or
Not really.
Potato chips.
Yeah, potato chips.
regular potato chips?
You get 1 potato chip.
A day? Mm-hmm. Great. Live with that.
Regular potato chips or a certain flavor?
I like sour cream and onion.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
My favorite are the ruffled barbecue ruffles.
I like those too. That's my problem. I like most of them.
And the regular ruffles with French onion dip. Oh, my goodness, man.
Yeah.
You're not a fan?
I like that, but I have children at my house.
Cheetos?
What about them?
Are you a Cheetos guy?
Yeah.
What he's saying is if we buy any of that stuff, we
It's
will never
gone.
see it.
Gotcha. But you are Cheetos. Crunchy or puffy?
Makes me no
Crunchy.
difference.
Crunchy. I'm a crunchy puffer. Or crunchy Cheeto, or not a crunchy puffer.
Puffy cheater. Puffy crunchy.
I'm definitely not
And
a
those
puffy
those
cheater.
huge cheese ball things, I mean, it's kind of like,
Oh, those are so good.
they're addictive.
Yes, and they have them at HEB, like the cheap knockoff HEB
They got them
brand.
at Sam's.
Yeah, they come in
In
next
bulk.
next Tuesday.
Entire pallet.
I'll send you a list next Tuesday, Rick.
You can go with me next Tuesday.
But they it's like a treat when we go to HEB. I usually get the bag of them because they're 99 cents, those puff balls, and then I get a HEB Coke Zero. It's not the same, but you know it's cheaper.
Yeah, well.
So, anyways, I don't know why we're talking about all that because guess what? We got Tara Burnett eagerly waiting. She's going to be on with us here in just a few moments. Kyle Kreiner dropped into the show this morning as well, so it's good to see Kyle. And we'll have Kyle on the back end today, if that's all right, talking about some brisket. I told Kyle just show up, you know, at 7:45 or so one show when he can make it. His schedule varies so much that he's not sure when he can drop by, but he's going to be talking about some brisket cooking coming up too.
I've got a couple ordered.
And thank you for that, Rick, by the way, too. So
Those briskets are good.
I'm excited about the briskets coming up. Well, friends, let us know what you're thankful for today. Our good friend Santa George joining us. We're working on a program, too, that I want to announce here, hopefully in the next, I'd probably say week or so, but we're trying to put something together with George Pitts, a good friend of mine, and we'll be announcing that soon as the holiday season right around the corner. Let us know what you're thankful for as you're waking up with us this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. A lot happening in our community, especially as we lead up to Veterans Day this weekend. That is what I was going at, and somehow I got into this tangent about singing at church. It came back to me. I was talking to Rick, and I was like, is it veteran or is it veterans?
I say veteran.
Veteran. Tara, it's veteran. Right? Veteran. But I say, and that's where I was getting at when I switch up the octaves, because I'll say veteran one time, and I'll say veteran the next time. So today I'm going to fix that, just like tomorrow's promise. Montessori schools, not Montessori. Montessori schools, veteran. I will not get it wrong, folks.
And children and kids.
I've been good about that, by the way.
You've been I've heard you tell other people when she's not here.
I get Kaye Boehning backhand whenever you say kids. You do not say kids.
I've got scars.
Although there are some kids out there, because let's be honest, some of y'all parents are goats, you know? Is that what it is? The goat's a kid? I'm a kid because my mom's a goat. Greatest of all time. Boom. Can't get it wrong, Rick. See that? There you go. We'll step aside, take a break. We got some local news, including election results, coming up here in just a few moments. Tara Burnett joins us on the other side with Hearts Veterans. Did I get it? Veterans?
Veteran.
I almost said it. Hearts Veterans Museum. We'll be back in a moment. As always, Huntsville, it's your show. Make sure to hit that like and share button, and we'll be back here in a moment on Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us. I'm Rob Hipp, and here's the news. Join the Hearts Veterans Museum this Saturday, November the 11th at 6 p.m. for the Veterans Day Banquet. This event promises great food, music, and a silent auction featuring retired Colonel Robert Harmon as the special guest speaker. Dress casually or in uniform if you prefer. Tickets are $35 each, or you can reserve a table for 8 for $250. Get your tickets at the museum or by mailing the online sponsorship form. Donate auction items by November the 10th and bake goods by the event day at noon. The celebration is located at 463 State Highway 75 North in Huntsville. For details, call 936-295-5959 or email Tara Burnett at taraburnett@heartsmuseum.com. Come honor our veterans. Walker County's unofficial election tallies are in. As of 10:19 p.m. last night, 6,950 of the 36,420 registered voters turned out, putting participation at just over 19% in Walker County. For Huntsville School Board Trustee Position 4, John Hendricks is in the lead with 2,795 votes, a solid 60%, while Brian Lenormand trails at 40% with 1,843 votes. Kathy Schweitzer, running unopposed for Position 5, secures her spot. In the mayoral race, Russell Humphrey has a sweeping lead for Huntsville Mayor at large with nearly 80% of the vote, totaling 1,849 votes, dwarfing John Jaffra's 20% at 483 votes. Huntsville council member races were a mixed bag as Tor Fossum for Ward 1 and John Skelly Strong for Ward 4 ran unopposed, with Fossum securing 386 votes. In Ward 2, Casey Cox is ahead with nearly 59% of the vote at 181 votes against Yolanda M. Scott's 41% with 126 votes. Ward 3 saw Anissa Antoine leading with over 61%, tallying 202 votes. Russell Barnett at 31% with 103 votes, and Benjamin J. Sessons with just over 6% at 22 votes. For a detailed account of all city amendments, state propositions, and more, head over to our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. Well, attention Hornet Nation, get ready to swarm Texas City for the UIL 5A2 bi-district football playoffs this Friday. The anticipation kicks off at 7 p.m. at Stingery Stadium, located at 1501 9th Avenue North in Texas City. Remember, tickets must be purchased online, adults for $8 and students for $4. Also, don't forget senior citizen passes and UIL passes are also accepted. Stingery Stadium enforces a clear bag policy to ensure safety and a quicker entry. Also, to accommodate all fans comfortably, umbrellas are not permitted. Support your Hornets in this pivotal playoff game. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement. Head over to HornetNation.com huntsvillehs.org for the full details and ticket purchasing link. And lastly, today in your weather, expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 85 degrees and breezy conditions as south winds blow from 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Tonight, skies turn mostly cloudy, dipping to a low of 67. And then looking ahead to Thursday, there's a 50% chance of showers afternoon with highs in the upper 70s. Winds will shift from the north with new rainfall amounts up to a quarter inch possible. Stay prepared. That's what's happening in and around Huntsville. Have a blessed day, friends. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kaye Boehning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
As we continue to lift you up, hopefully inspire you a little bit here on a wonderful, great, wonderful, beautiful Wednesday. It's on National Cappuccino Day as well, so happy National Cappuccino today. Sorry I didn't bring any cappuccino.
You missed the most important one.
What is that?
It's National Parents as Teachers Day.
I saw that. I was going to sneak that in on the Wednesday Wisdom.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But it is National Parents as Teachers Day today. Hey, parents, I love you. Some of y'all, you may not want to teach, leave it to the experts. Just kidding. All parents are teachers.
They are the very first teachers. And I'm just going to pull the Wednesday wisdom out right now.
Let's do it.
Which is, if you don't teach your child respect, then they're not, and you expect the school district to teach it, it is too late.
Yeah.
Because if they don't respect you as a parent, they're not going to respect anybody else.
That is 100% right. And, we're so big with Braylon on that. And it's easy to teach children at a young age to say, yes, sir, no, sir, please, and thank you.
Yes.
And when Braylon responds, she has picked up this word, yeah and nope. And I do not like it. And I correct her every single time she says nope. And I'll say, And then she'll go, oh, no, sir. And you just got to teach them. Not hard. Tara Burnett here joining us, Hearts veteran. Good to see you, Tara.
Good morning.
Good to have you back as always.
Well, it's great to be here.
I guess it's been you were on about a month ago or so. Is it? maybe longer, maybe shorter. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was about a month or so ago.
Time flies on the show here.
Yes,
but
it does.
Always great to have Tara. You know, Emily O'Rear is the smile of Huntsville, but Tara Burnett comes in a very close second, by the way.
Well, thank you.
So, you know what, we're going to – maybe this is the new coin. I don't think we've coined one for you yet, Tara.
I don't think so.
We're going to coin it the Heart of Huntsville because of Hearts Veterans Museum. So there you go.
Thank you very much.
So
thank you very much.
Tara Burnett, the Heart of Huntsville, and she does have a heart for this community, especially our veterans. And Tara, great program today as we're going to be talking about events leading up to Veterans Day on Saturday. It's kind of weird because I noticed on a lot of calendars, I guess there's a lot of observances specifically happening on Friday, I guess because it's during the week, but the official Veterans Day obviously on Saturday, and that's when you guys are going to be holding an event as well. But before we dig into all of that, what have you been up to and how have things been in your world?
Well, I lovingly call this the week of mass chaos. We are so blessed in this community that everyone wants to have an event for Veterans Day. So literally every day this week, there's things for veterans to do. We kicked it off on Saturday with the free veterans breakfast that we do the first Saturday of every month. And, you know, we probably fed a little over 100 veterans. So it was a lot of fun. It was sponsored by our local VFW. And then it just continues to roll from there. Yesterday we were at the high school. The continuing education kids did a veteran appreciation showcase, and they washed cars and did haircuts and manicures, and the culinary kids cooked snacks for them. The horticulture children had, you know, these beautiful flowers out there, and the construction kids showed off the tiny homes that they're building. So it was really neat to see that. And then they gave every veteran a gift before we left. So they all made handmade cards for them. So it was pretty neat to see the high school kids showing all their appreciation to all the veterans. You know, it's amazing to me the churches that have stepped up this year. I know Family Faith is doing a huge service on Sunday, specifically geared towards veterans, and then they're doing a free lunch afterwards to feed all the veterans and their families. You know, several other churches I've seen on Facebook pop up that they're doing special services for veterans. So it's very heartwarming to all of us to see. Of course, it's crazy for all of us trying to make all the different things. Tomorrow morning in New Waverly, they've done this for years, but they bring all their kids to the football field. And at 9 o'clock, they do a big veterans program. And so that's really grown through the years. It's a very nice program to attend. So we like to go down there and support them. And then, of course, Friday is Marine Corps birthday. So we'll feed, you know, again, 125 Marines. That's a big deal. It started at the museum, and it's been going strong for about 20 years.
Wow.
It just keeps growing. And after that, we'll immediately break down from that and set up for a Veterans Day banquet. And we have one table left, and then we are sold out.
That is great news.
Yes. And we've gotten some great live auction items, tons of silent auction items and baked goods. So we're really excited about it. You know, it's sad to me to sell out, but I can only put so many bodies in that room. We may have to look at sometime in the future moving it because this community is so amazing about supporting our veterans.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Well, we can have a little outdoor gathering there at the new Gibbs Ranch, outdoors right there on the rodeo field. So
that's right.
So how much is a table?
So it's $250 for a table of 8. The tickets are $35 a piece. We try to keep it affordable. It used to be $50 a ticket or $350 for a table, but what we found was it was mainly adults coming, which is great. But, we really want our children to understand, the sacrifice and service and the celebration of the veterans that have come home after service. And so we worked with some local businesses, and fortunately, Humphreys is catering for me, and George is amazing about sitting down, and we get that food cost, to the penny, so that we want families to come. It's hard when you have mom, dad, and a couple kids, and it's $50 a ticket. That's $200 to come to an event. That's a lot. And so we try to take it down. We did have to increase a little bit this year to the $35 ticket price just because the cost of food and everything else has gone up. But we want whole families to come. We want to continue that appreciation for service for generations.
Your last table's sold.
Oh, well, thank you, Kaye. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
And what time does it start Saturday?
6 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay. Your last table sold. Rob, you got 6 tickets to give away.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we're
wow.
That's great. Well, thank you, Kaye.
Thank
That's
you, Kaye.
awesome. And for the veterans, that is wonderful. It's so great to have Tara Burnett here this morning again from Hart's Veterans Museum and talking about the great events that are happening, and especially the event here on Saturday at Hart's Veterans Museum. I said on the news this morning when we do our local news segment now, and also on Spirit Radio, it'll be throughout the day. You'll hear that. So now the table is sold. So I'm gonna go edit the news clip there, which is great. And thanks to Kaye and Tomorrow's Promise for that. But there's something that you and I had talked about, Tara, off the show that I wanted to make sure that you wanted to make sure that we really highlight, because I think sometimes there's still some confusion between Memorial Day, which is very important also, and
Yes.
Veterans Day. So kind of guide us through that, just the differences and the distinction between the two.
Well, Memorial Day is more of a solemn. That's when we honor those that have gone on. So those that we lost in service to country, or those that have passed away. It's a day of mourning. So we go out. We hand out the poppies, and we talk about the sacrifice that all of the soldiers have made that have gone on. And so that's more of a solemn occasion. We typically just do a program for that. It's not a dinner or anything like that. It's just to educate people about, the sacrifice that everybody makes when they take that oath to defend our nation. And so Veterans Day is actually a celebration for all of those that have taken that oath. And they're here, they did their time, they came home, they have families, and we celebrate the fact that they made it back to us. And so, it's kind of a... we don't want to leave anybody out of either occasion, but you don't see any distinction a lot of times because people get confused, but Veterans Day, I'll never forget, when I first started at Hart's, it was very structured and it was very formal on Veterans Day. A lot of the guys wore their dress uniforms and things like that. Well, when I came on board, I asked them, I said, well, this day is all about y'all. I said, so what do you want to do? We want a barbecue. We want the jazz band. So we changed it up. We changed up the model because it's not about me. It's not about the museum. It's about the veteran and what they want because it's their day, to have a great time. So that's what we do.
That's wonderful. And I've mentioned so many times on the show, and folks in Huntsville know that this is a community that is committed to our veterans. So many wonderful things that folks do, and not just on a Memorial Day, not just on a Veterans Day, but literally throughout the year. You guys host the sorry, I was choking while I got some water, which is you guys host the monthly breakfast. Tell us a little bit more about that, because we have a lot of new viewers, new folks moving into the community that may not know about that breakfast.
Well, the first Saturday of every month at the museum, we host a free veterans breakfast from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's sponsored by local companies and local families, local organizations. We started out in the museum. Again, our first breakfast, I think my husband and I cooked, and we've probably fed, half a dozen people or a dozen people. And then it just kept growing, and we tried to keep it in the museum because, we wanted people to be able to walk around the museum and eat and enjoy. But we realized really quick and in a hurry that wasn't going to work. So we have the storm shelter. So we use the big hallway there. It's amazing. We are booked, I think, through April of next year with sponsors. We have several organizations that are like, we want to do this every November. We want to do this every April. So it just rolls into the next year. But we love to open it up to new people because the person that sponsors has the opportunity to address the veterans in attendance. So we always have the DAV there helping with disability claims and with any benefit questions they have. The VFW is always represented there. Tri-County Mental Health is there, the Veteran Peer Network. So we try to always make sure there's resources there for them. But whoever sponsors has that little small window to be able to either just thank the veterans or to tell them what they have that can assist them. So it's really special to us.
What does it cost to sponsor the breakfast each month?
Well, it started out at $250.
It's growing, I'm assuming.
Now it's growing. It's usually around $350 to $400. But what I encourage people to do, so if people, for tax purposes, want to make a donation to the museum for the breakfast, then by all means they can write a check to the museum, and we will go and set up the catering and all those type of things to have the food done. But I encourage a lot of people, like the Boy Scouts do it every year, and they come out and bring the flat griddles, and they cook pancakes and sausage on site. So that's really cool when the Boy Scouts just the Scouts of America come out and do it as well. So that's really special. Some of the churches get involved, and they actually come in and they'll use the kitchen there in the storm shelter. They'll come in early and cook and have it all prepared. So, I mean, it's not necessarily just writing us a check and then we're going out and getting, breakfast tacos, although that's wonderful. I love doing that. But it's really neat, and it's really special to the veterans when the people take the initiative themselves to come and prepare the breakfast and serve it. It's a lot of fun.
Tara Burnett joining us this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. Always a privilege and a blessing to have her here in studio with us as we're talking about events coming up at the Hearts Veterans Museum. We want to thank all the veterans out there for your selfless sacrifice and serving our country. My dad's a veteran. My grandfather was second wave. I used to say first wave, and then my mom corrected me. She's like, no, second wave. But he told me a story, or my grandmother had told me a story that, only 8 in his company survived that in Normandy as a second wave. And you can only imagine the first wave that those folks had went through. And that's why it's so important. And you know what? If you know a World War II vet, really embrace them and hug on them, because that generation, those numbers are dwindling every year more and more. And, we go 5-10 years from now, we're not going to have any more World War II vets. And I think that's just a really special group of men and women who served our country, just like all veterans, but especially World War II. When you think about that, and just hug on people and love on them, and if you can help out, I think it's so important to do that, Tara.
It really is. And, I think that's what makes the museum so special. Every veteran that comes in there feels like they're coming to their second home. There's always a cup of coffee. There's always somebody to tell stories with and joke around with, but there's always a hug. So many of our veterans have lost spouses, or they are the spouse that lost the veteran. And when they get in that situation and, the kids may have moved off, or there are no kids, human contact is such a necessity in life. And some of these people that come into the museum, they literally will come in, say hi, get a hug, drink a cup of coffee, and then they're like, okay, I'm going. But it's just that check-in to let us know they're okay, to let us know that, they're upright and going. Because a lot of them know that if I don't see them, I'm going to call. And I'm going to say, hey, how's everything going today? Or my assistant's going to call. Because we literally, in the morning, I'm like, have you seen Bob today? Have you seen, when was the last time Nick came in? And so we're very adamant about checking in on all of them and making sure they're all okay. We help take them to doctors. We help, refill their prescriptions. We do whatever needs to be done so that they're okay. We kind of fill that gap because they deserve that. I mean, out of all the people in this world that you can help, that group of people, those veterans, are the ones that deserve it and appreciate it so very much. Very few of them will ask for help, but if you offer it and sometimes insist upon it, they will take it, and they appreciate it so much. And that's why it's so important with what we do up there.
Yeah, I just, it kind of, it grabs at you, and especially tugs at your heart, because, these folks have worked through so much, and that's another thing too. And we had Terry on yesterday, and we were talking about AIM Vet, and I didn't realize that organization was here and, existed. And then the other organization that you had helped start that we were talking about, which was
Veterans and Patriots United.
Yeah, Veterans and Patriots United. I mean, all of these organizations are so important, and, you just think about what these folks have went through. And if you've never served, I've never served, so I can't put my feet in their shoes. And that's why it's so important that we do need to have compassion. We do need to be there for those that have, as I always say, it truly is, in my opinion, the greatest selfless sacrifice that you can have is serving our country. And so I think it's great what you guys are continuing to do. So many support staff around you, Tara. And it starts with, and I know you're very humble, but I'm going to say it because it's true. It starts with you and your leadership and with your heart and how much you love these men and women. It starts with you, and people latch onto that, and people want to get involved. And maybe that's the inspiration this morning for somebody out there is, your passion doesn't go unnoticed. And maybe if you feel down, some days you may wake up, and all of us are like that, Tara. Some days, even though we're passionate about what we do, some days we may wake up and say, I'm just not feeling it today. But I want you to realize, for anyone out there this morning, that your passions don't go unnoticed. And so continue to pursue that passion because you're going to lead other people that have wanted to be involved. And Tara, you're great at that. Just with your leadership and what you do for our veterans makes me want to be more involved. And it's not just me, but I can say that for anyone in the community. When they get around you, they want to be involved and they want to help out. And so thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And there are days it's hard. You just get exhausted because the phone never stops. I might be at that museum till 5 o'clock, but that doesn't mean,
the phones don't turn off.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I'm, making sure my boy, my poor husband, God bless him. It's a good thing he has the same heart I do because 10 o'clock at night and somebody's faucet blows out and they don't know how to turn off their water. There he goes. And he's out there fixing it. Roger's gone. Gus got, our youngest one, he's our only son still at home. He's 14, but he's out there too. Somebody's yard needs to be mowed. He's out there mowing the grass. And it's funny because, even like at the breakfast, when you first walk in, the table, where the greeters are, it's literally my mother, my Aunt Betty, and one of our volunteers, Miss Betty, that's Miss Betty Nelson. She's been there forever. She's well into her 90s, but you would never know that. But she is dedicated as she can be. And, everybody has that passion to be there. And, my motto when I'm feeling exhausted and I'm just like, Lord, how am I going to do this again? I always say, if not me, then who?
Yeah.
If we're not the ones out there doing it, it still needs to be done. So if I'm not going to do it, who else is going to do it? So that's why we encourage so many people to be involved, because there will come a time, when I'm not physically capable of doing all that we do. But
you're gonna be like Betty.
Yes. Good Lord willing, I will be like Miss Betty. But it's so fulfilling. It's very humbling when you find the purpose that God has designed for you. It's hard to accept that that responsibility, that you're worthy of that responsibility, I guess. But when it's shown to you time and time and time again, you just say, "Okay, God, I got this."
Yeah.
And you just move forward. But literally, it's a struggle sometimes. The whole thing with the tiny homes and not knowing how we were going to get things done. Speaking of which, they're supposed to be pouring concrete tomorrow for the foundation for the next 4. So we're excited about it. We're ready to have the other veterans out there. The need is so tremendous. And again, our hope through doing all of this is that other people will just say, "Hey, we can do that too." And they'll just step in and take care of these men and women that need it the most.
That's going to happen, and we're believing in that, and we know that the purpose and the passion you have is tremendous, like I said, and so many other people want to be a part of that and help out. And, I think about that too this morning, just pursue, I keep saying pursue your passion and remain in faith. I like what you said earlier that there are days that you even have where you're like, I just don't know if I can do this today, but the faith is what gets you through it. And I've learned in my life to speak things into my life that I don't like the phrase fake it till you make it. A lot of people say that. I always say faith it till you make it. And if you're waking up and you're not feeling good, tell yourself, I feel great, even if you don't. And I know it's hard, but the more that we say those things over our lives, the more that our conscience starts picking up on it. And then when that thought comes into your mind of like, oh, today's not good, it will be good. So those are the things that I think about, and I think it's true with our hearts and our servitude for our community.
Yeah.
Well, so many times it's right at that point where you're ready. So I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm so over this. I'm so done. you're right on the threshold of the next greatness, and you
Right.
just push through that next day, and then you go, oh wow, and so. Yeah, I'm there with you.
I know. And we were talking about that. Nonprofits are so unique, I guess is the word for it, because there's so much that happens behind the scenes that people don't see on the day to day, and truly trying to run a nonprofit the way that they're supposed to be run, with the transparency and I have an open door policy. There's nothing that we do that everybody doesn't need to know about, and so I think it's just amazing. And the thing about Huntsville is everybody has a different mission. Everybody's mission is important, but they're all different. So you can literally support and give to so many, and you're supporting a different avenue every time.
Yeah.
It's like AIM vets that you were talking about. They go into the prison and they meet with the incarcerated veterans. And we actually had a warden approach us. She was putting all of her veterans together in the same pod, and she wanted to know what she could do to put on those walls to give them that sense of pride in their service, because even though they're incarcerated, they still served our country. So we talked about, painting the seals on the wall, for the branches of service, and how important the American flag is to the veterans. And so, but I was really honored that she reached out, and wanted to know what she could do to encourage these veterans to go ahead and serve their time, and then when they get out, don't come back here again, and that's important. And a lot of veterans get into trouble because they're misdiagnosed. Number one, they're on the wrong medications. They either don't know how to go to the VA. They don't know what their benefits are. They don't know, where they're supposed to go after service. The transition from I just did 15 years in the Marine Corps or the Army, and then they're like, okay, bye. And you get out and you're like, well, now what am I supposed to do? A lot of them will go back to where they came from. And a lot of people join service to get away from where they were raised. They don't want to be in that environment anymore. If it be gangs or drugs or just bad choices, they join the military, they go see the world, they go do all these wonderful things, and then they come back and there's no answer. So things happen and they find out, they find themselves incarcerated, and that's really a difficult path. And so it's good to have people like AIM vets that'll step up and assist with that, get them their benefits, and get them going in the right direction. Veterans and Patriots United was a reason that could help with that transition. So they come in after they've done these intensive inpatient programs to help them detox, get off drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be. And then they get the counseling that they need. They get their benefits. They get their driver's license back. They get all of these things. They attend classes. And then we help get them jobs. We help find them apartments and homes, and we help them transition. We help them with their vehicles. We help them, whatever it may be. We're kind of that family network. I give it all to Amos. This was Amos's, dream to do this. He just needed support, and that's when everybody in the museum and everybody in our community truly stepped up and were like, we're going to support you. We're going to help you get this done, because we saw the need there. It's just like with the houses. You don't just dream up these ideas. You see the need and you're like, how can I fix this?
Yeah.
And that's where all of this comes from. And so it's just an honor to have such a community that's willing to do it.
Yeah, that's so great, Tara. Such good messages this morning. Tara Burnett again with us here from Hearts Veterans Museum. We appreciate her. There was a thought that I had, and I briefly wanted to say this, because you said that everyone in Huntsville is on a mission, and I agree with that. And sometimes our missions may overlap, and this was really put on my heart a few weeks ago, and I really feel like the Holy Spirit, God was speaking to me on this, was there is a competitive nature to people. And sometimes when we get around some people that are kind of in the similar path that we're on, there is that competitive nature of like, I want to do more. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to encourage people this morning that if we're on the same path, to not be at war with each other.
Right.
We need to work together. We need to support each other. We don't need to be at war with each other. There's a lot of veteran organizations, and it's so great that you guys can all work together, and that's true for any organization. I look at it like this, and I really feel like this was what was put on my heart and was spoken to me, was we don't need to be at war with each other. We need to be, all of us united, need to be at war with the enemy. And when I say the enemy, I'm talking in a spiritual sense against Satan. That's the war that we need to be fighting against, is him. Outside of that, we need to be involved with each other. We need to support each other. And it's sometimes, you're in a meeting and you see somebody that's like in a similar path, and then everyone has it. There's like that weird curtain that's there. Mm-hmm. Pull back the curtain and let's work together. And I want to encourage you this morning, whether you're a business owner, maybe you're in a similar business with someone else, or maybe an organization that's serving. I just want to encourage you this morning that we truly are all in this together, and that we should work together, support each other, lift each other up. And the only war that we should be fighting is the war together against the enemy. And that's just something that was put on my heart a few weeks ago. And, man, I'm going to tell you, when that was put on my heart, it was just that actually feels pretty good to think, to realize that, because we talk about it. And when you said that mission, that kind of fired me up again to think about that, Tara. So thank you for mentioning that this morning.
Oh, yes, sir. One of the coolest events I think we have ever done, we had the American Legion and the Ladies Auxiliary and the Elks Lodge and the VFW and the museum, and we did a big dinner. And, everybody participated a different way. Everybody, was in charge of, you're in charge of desserts, you're in charge of salad, you're in charge of spaghetti, whatever it was. But we had so much fun, and we had so much community involvement. And I think if people in this community, everybody wants to do their part. Mm-hmm. But I think if we could all, just start doing those community things together, where, Kaye wants to do something and I'm like, okay, well, the Veterans Museum, we can do this part of it, or, the CASA kids, whatever it may be.
You helped us with Lasso.
Yeah, with Lasso. But, more than just donating a basket from the museum. When we did that dinner, it literally was, this person's over here doing the salads and the garlic bread, and this organization's doing spaghetti, and this one. So we did this huge community dinner, but every organization was in there together, and it was just so cool.
You don't want me cooking. Trust me on that one.
You can bring the salad.
I was looking at Rick when you said that.
You can bring the salad, Kaye.
Well, Tara, we have something.
I can do tea.
There you go.
I'll bring the water. We'll be all right. Tara, you have something today, and I wanted to get to this real quick because it's going to shut down in 10 minutes.
Okay.
But today's keyword is veteran. And so this morning, if you know, and please don't text if you don't know a veteran.
Right.
But if you know a veteran or you are a veteran, we have a very, very, very special giveaway today. We have been waiting a while, so now is your time. Text in the keyword veteran on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139. Text in the keyword veteran if you are a veteran, if you know someone who is, maybe a family member, because we have an extremely special giveaway. We've been saving one of these pieces for a long time for this day. We wanted to wait until we got closer to Veterans Day. But Tara, do you mind holding this up, and we'll put it in front of that camera. This is a big thank you to Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks. He custom made this United States veteran plaque. Beautiful piece that he has made. He has stained it. He has the machine that cuts all that. I forget what routes it, I guess, like a CNC type machine.
CNC router.
But just a beautiful piece. So that we're giving away today. And also, Tara, you excited for you to open up? Can we go through it?
Yes, we can go through it. So there's about $100 worth of stuff in this bag. So we have the special coffee that is done just for the Hearts Veterans Museum.
Awesome.
We have a bandana for Proudly Served.
Let's show that. Yeah, we'll show these. So there's
Yeah,
the bandana. Awesome bandana, yeah.
I'm falling down on my Vanna white.
No, that's all right.
Okay, we have a couple of our Muster Festival shirts that we gave away this year at the Veterans Day, at the Muster Festival, I'm sorry. We have 4 passes to the museum. We have our little rubber duck
Jeep
for Proudly
duck.
Served. Yes, everybody. And then you have our one-of-a-kind backpacks from the museum.
Boy, that is so great.
So, yeah, we're excited to be partnering with you to celebrate a veteran in our community.
Absolutely. So again, if you know of a veteran or you are one and you want to enter in today, now is your chance. Text in that keyword veteran on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Again, at 936-339-0139. And we would love to bless you with these gifts here today. That's all you got to do. Just text that in right now, and we will be calling our lucky winner here in just a little bit. We've already had 5 people since we announced that, by the way, text in. So that's great that those have already came in, and we certainly do appreciate that. You had mentioned earlier, Kaye, about the tickets there. You said 6 of them. Is that correct? For the table, was that right?
There's 8 at the table, so if they come.
And y'all are giving away 6 of those, right, Kaye? Was that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I remember Kaye said earlier, so what we'll do also, if it's okay, we'll toss in 2 tickets to that table as well. So we're going to include 2 tickets. They got to sit with Rick and Kaye.
Hey, there is the downside.
That's the.
Oh, that'll be the fun table.
It'll be the fun table. So we're going to also toss in 2 tickets to that. So a special Veterans Day giveaway. And again, one final opportunity for you to text that in, as that text line will be closing here in just a few moments. Today's keyword only, veteran, on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Again, at 936-339-0139. Text that in alongside your name, and we'll make sure to select our winner here in a little bit. Tara, before you go, anything else that you'd like to mention? It's always such a joy to have you here, and we appreciate you very much.
Well, I just appreciate y'all, and I appreciate all your support. I know Kaye always tells me, she comes and gives me a big hug, and I know she's praying for me all the time, and I know you are as well, Rob. And, you know, that's just what it takes. It takes all of us lifting each other up, all of that support. You know, if somebody crosses your mind, you know, pick up that phone and call them. It only takes a few seconds, or send them a text. If, you know, me, I can't always answer my phone when I'm in the middle of things, but, you know, just hey, I was thinking about you. It means a lot. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with y'all this morning, and for all of your support. And I was telling Kaye, you know, my son that's in the Army, we're working on year 12. He was actually one of Kaye's first students at Tomorrow's Promise, him and my other son, Ty, when they were on the square. It's been a while. It's been quite a while, but, you know, she does amazing work over there, her and Rick, and I think it's great for the kids that are growing up in this community and seeing what they're accomplishing, you know, after Montessori school. So.
Yeah, love that.
Yep.
Well, again, appreciate you. We're not going to call the winner today just for time, but we did, and Kaye can verify this. It is right on the screen, 100% legitimate. We did the randomizer, and the winner of this awesome Veterans Day package today is our good friend Jay Elms.
Okay.
So Jay Elms has won. We appreciate you, Jay, and we will send you a message after the show today and figure out how to get you this. I know where you're located at over there next to Anthem and Century Security, so I'll probably just drop it off to you. But again, congratulations to Jay Elms. He is our winner. Do you know Jay?
I am horrible with names. I remember faces. It's horrible. I've been in this community forever, and I can see your face and come hug your neck, but don't ask me the name. I'm horrible about that.
Hey, don't worry. You know what's funny is I think it was my pastor at First Baptist, Pastor Bay, said, Rob, you have an incredible gift for remembering people's names. And I said, well, man, if you see that, that's a blessing, because there's a lot of times where, you know, it was really bad the other day. My mind stopped. And this is why I'm going to Learning RX. Lisa Branch is helping me out, and it's starting to get better. But this is really, really sad. My mind hit a major roadblock, and I could not remember Braylon and Caden's name for about 10 seconds. And it was extremely scary. My own children. And it was nothing bad. It's just like my mind was frozen. Have you ever had that?
Yes.
And I know my children's names, but I just couldn't, I couldn't get it out.
But what causes that is stress.
And that's what it was, because I was stressed that day.
I mean, it got so bad with me. I went to the doctors to get checked out. I forgot how to sign my name.
Wow.
I couldn't. I was like, why is this so difficult for me? I mean, I've been signing my name for 50 years. But so I went to the doctor thinking, do I have a brain tumor? Do I have some? And he's like, Tara, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to breathe. You need to relax. And he said, when things like that happen, that's really what it is. When it's just just an instant thing and then it's gone. It's just stress.
And that's what and that day I was extremely stressed out. And I just remember this block. I was like, I can't get it out. And then I finally got it out, so it worked out. So, well, again, we appreciate Tara being here with us this morning from Hart's Veterans Museum. Congratulations to Jay Elms on this wonderful Veterans Day package. And big thanks to Tara for putting that together, and also to Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks for that plaque, and we'll get that over to you. Been a fun one today. Kyle Kreiner will be joining us here in just a few moments as we'll wrap up on the other side. But Tara, God bless you. Continue the great work. We love you and Roger very much and your family. And, of course, we love all the veterans out there and what you do for them.
Well, thank y'all very much for your support. We love you, too.
All right, we'll step aside. We'll hear our national news, and we'll be back with Kyle Kreiner as we continue and wrap it up on the other side. As always, friends, this is your show. It is Good Morning Huntsville, and we'll be right back after this.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. The third GOP debate will take place tonight in Miami, Florida, as 5 of the 6 presidential candidates will take the stage. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, Ohio entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum did not meet the RNC's criteria. Former President Trump, the overwhelming favorite for the GOP, will not be participating. Elections took place in some locations across America yesterday. Kentucky Democrat Governor Andy Beshear has been reelected.
Folks, this wasn't my win. This was our victory. It was a victory that sends a loud, clear message. A message that candidates should run for something and not against someone.
With a tally of 56% yes and 44% no, Ohio will add reproductive or abortion rights to their state constitution and will legalize medical marijuana. The House is censuring Michigan Democrat Rashida Tlaib and her comments on Israel following Hamas's barbaric attack on our ally. Georgia Representatives Margie Taylor Greene and Rich McCormick both introduced new resolutions this week to reprimand Tlaib. The reprimand passed 234 to 188, with many Democrats wanting to censure Tlaib. Memorabilia from the Titanic will be up for auction on Saturday. A menu from the Titanic's first-class restaurant and a pocket watch that was owned by a Russian immigrant will be offered. The auction house, Henry Aldridge & Sons Limited, says the menu is estimated to sell for $73,000, and the pocket watch will sell for at least $61,000. Thanks for listening, my friend. It's well appreciated. USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion, with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, Lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. All right, friends, welcome back at it. 8:11. If you were supposed to be at work at 8 a.m., you are fired. So we'll ask for you to come help us here at Hello Huntsville. No pay, but a lot of fun. You can get paid and fun here at Hello Huntsville. So if you lost your job this morning, come hang out.
I have a funner job.
Come hang out with us. What is that?
Working with the children.
You do. Yeah, your job is great.
Yeah, it's much more fun than this.
Yeah, this is just like whatever. But you know who's going to bring it back up now, Kaye? Because, we had some fun with Tara. It was great. And then we took that long commercial break. Boom, Kyle Kreiner joining us. Kyle, good morning. Morning.
How you doing?
Welcome in. Kyle, have you been on the show before?
No.
Well, welcome in.
I've been.
He's been the keyboard warrior on the show.
Oh yeah.
He's been in the show, but he hasn't been on the show. He comes into the studio and hangs out with us every once in a while. So
every once in a blue moon.
Kyle,
I'm picking something up.
Wanted to give you a little bit of time here, briefly, to plug the organization that you're a part of, and before you do, hold on. Got to take this out here, Kaye. Kyle's Brisket Man. So we have like the Heart of Huntsville, which is now Tara Burnett. The Smile of Huntsville, which is Emily O'Rear. The Hug of Huntsville, none other than Kaye Boehning. The Handshake of Huntsville, which is a guy named Marcus Gillespie. Now we got to find something to do with Kyle about like the brisket of Huntsville. But that sounds kind of weird.
Purveyor of high cholesterol.
Purveyor of high.
The cholesterol of Huntsville.
Kyle, oh man, hold on. I'm going to get a bite of this live on the show. Here we go. It's a brisket taco. Kyle
Brisket and egg.
Brisket and egg. Is there cheese on this bad boy?
There is.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
It's delicious.
We'll be back in a moment. My man. Unbelievable. Mom said don't ever talk with your mouth full. I love you, Mom, but I have to with this. Thank you for that, man. I was sick and missed a brisket, right?
That one. That brisket.
It was that one? So Kyle brought it into it. Kyle, tell us about the organization you're part of. I know it's not the one here in Huntsville, but just as important, you guys all kind of work together regardless. So let us know about what you're involved in and what you're working on, man.
Well, I'm involved in the Love Lady Masonic Lodge. Masonic lodges everywhere. They do interact with each other, and I am actually in
the Charter and Council of Huntsville. But I live here in Huntsville, and we are doing a fundraiser for our general operating costs, and part of that goes to our scholarships. The Masons are known for starting public school system in Texas. And so we give back a scholarship. Every lodge, they can petition the Grand Lodge of Texas to donate. So they'll match funds up to $500, I believe, per scholarship. And so most lodges try to give out 1 or 2 scholarships and try to max out that benefit. So what we try to do is put out $1,500 a year and then have our Grand Lodge match those funds and try and hand out 3 $1,000 scholarships. Obviously, in Lovelady, Texas, it's kind of difficult to, keep the lights on and, do all of our charitable donations. So it's a lot of times most of us are coming out of our own pocket.
Yeah.
So that's why we have the need for fundraisers. So we started this brisket cook-off. Love Fest was our main avenue, of course, with the price of everything going up, and it's kind of hard to.
Was that you guys that put on Love Fest? In
So
Lovelady?
we started the Love Fest. I think we're in 30. I think it's 30 years they've been doing it. I'm not entirely sure. Someone will correct me on that. But they started the Love Fest. The cook-off is presented by the Masonic Lodge. It's put on by the Masonic Lodge. Then there's another handful of organizations that carry on the Kid Carnival, and then they have vendors inside the Lovelady Old Gym. So it's like y'all were talking earlier, several nonprofits working together with the same cause at the same event. So that's a beautiful thing. But our cut of the you got 30 cook-off teams. It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Quite expensive to put on. And, and there is prize money involved. And for best brisket, best ribs, and it can get up there.
Well, Kyle's joining us. I wanted to bring Kyle on because even though this event happening in Lovelady, to help raise funds there. I mean, you're cooking briskets for people all over, including here in Huntsville.
Exactly.
Let us know about the briskets and the price and those things.
So, like I said, to offset, we started this brisket cook-off or brisket sale. We cook 60 briskets. We usually have them for pre-order. I think right now we've sold 40. So we still have 20 that are up for grabs, and we will sell out. We sell out every time we do this. It's cooked by yours truly. They are 100% full packer briskets, starting off 13, 15 pounds. When I start cooking, I will start cooking on the 17th that evening, and they will be ready. Our first batch should be ready probably mid-morning on the 18th, and I'll have another batch going and probably have that one ready on the 18th as well.
Man, that's great.
In the evening.
And are you comfortable giving out, your number so folks, if they want to get a brisket, how can they do that?
If they want to get a brisket, they will message Mike Gross, and his phone number is 936-662-7757. He is our lodge secretary, and he is taking down the orders, and he has the master list.
All right, so
the briskets are $100, and that is one full packer brisket, seasoned and smoked. Usually it's a 10 to 12 hour smoke whenever I do it. Oh, yeah.
60 of these bad boys. Do you have like a long, like a 20-foot smoker? I mean, what does it look like?
So we have one smoker. It's about 12 foot long. Maybe a little shorter than that. Pretty deep. I can get about 15 briskets on. That one's another member loans that out to us. The big pit that we get is from Whispering Pines Golf Club. They have been so generous. Their chefs have been so generous to lend that pit to us, And I could probably put 30 briskets on that if I really squeezed them in. So technically I could do it all in about one cook, but I'd really rather not try. So I want to make sure it's nice, good, even smoke all the way around. If I need to rotate the meat, I can rotate the meat.
Awesome. Well, again, you can order those. We just put Mike Gross's number up on the screen. Give him a call. 936-662-7757 is the number to order your brisket and get those bad boys ordered. And I appreciate Rick because he blessed us with one here on Hello Huntsville. So I'm looking forward to that
Rick
bad boy.
Rick knows it's good eating.
Yeah.
I mean, so a little note on that taco. Yeah. So you missed out on the fresh beef, and when I slice it, I mean it stays together. It stays together, but I mean it's so tender it'll reach over and touch itself on a 1/4 inch. But that taco there, I did not season. I did not put any salt or pepper in those eggs. I didn't season anything else. That brisket's 2 weeks old. It's packaged safe. But, I mean, you can open it up, cut you a chunk off, put it with your eggs. You don't need to season anything. You still have great smoke flavor, great flavor.
I was going to tell you, Kyle, you got a new business starting here in Huntsville that you may not have realized. Breakfast tacos starting about 5:30 in the morning. A little taco stand here. You can walk up and order your breakfast taco.
Man,
I would be there every morning.
It is too hard for me to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I mean, no. I love what I do.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to turn the hobby into a job, right?
Yeah.
So, well, Kyle, thanks for being on, man, sharing this with us. And, of course, Huntsville, we lift up and encourage those here in our community, but also other communities as well. You're here in Huntsville, but I know that this is going to support folks there, throughout the Lovelady area as well. And so we wanted to have you on, wanted you to share this. Most importantly, wanted folks, again, to call Mike and get you a brisket because they are good. And, friends, I was giving Kyle some extended chat time there because I'm down to, like, the final bite of this taco. So that's what I was doing behind the scenes.
I got a couple more for you.
So, well, Kyle, thanks for being here, man. It's good to have you on. I know you've been wanting to come on and talk about this for a while, and with your scheduling, it's hard to, schedule you because you wake up in the morning and don't know where they may send you. And so
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you were able to be here this morning, man.
Yep. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
You got it, my friend. So good to see
you again.
Well, friends, a lot of fun here today as we had Kyle, Tara Burnett, Kaye. You already gave us the Wednesday wisdom a little bit earlier. Maybe we'll end with kind of what's cooking for you the rest of this week. I know you're always busy, and since we're talking cooking briskets, what's cooking for you as we go on throughout the rest of this week, Kaye?
I'm trying to get caught up on 800 emails.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And they're starting the electrical and the plumbing over at the third location, so I'll be running over there and checking on the progress, and hopefully we're going to get started and get it open before the end of the year.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to continuing to support Kaye and the efforts at Tomorrow's Promise. They do such a great job. They are a 501c3 nonprofit, and every single Wednesday I want to make sure to remind folks, if you have a child or a guardian of a child that's age 0 to 5, make sure that you sign up for the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library to get free books to your children. I read to Braylon every single night. We read to Caden now as well, and those books at no cost. And you'll get 60 of them if you sign up from the time they're born until they're 5. So,
yeah, I have 28 I've got to approve today.
Well, the number's getting close to 1,000.
Yes. I think we might hit around... might be 975
Awesome.
when I get it all approved today.
When you hit 1,000,
we're going to have a celebration.
can we have a celebration? I know y'all will have one. Can we do a special celebration here on Hello
Sure.
Huntsville also? We'll do it on
Love
the show.
to.
Awesome. Because you celebrated us when we hit 100 episodes with a cake. In fact, I still have your knife. Don't let me forget to give that. The serving knife is still over there. The studio is in progress, by the way. So, well, we appreciate everybody for joining us. Make sure to be back with us tomorrow as we'll have some exchange students on with us, which is going to be really exciting. And certainly appreciate Kaye and Rick being here, Kyle, Tara Burnett from Harts Veterans Museum for joining us. Tomorrow, Denise Winston hops back on the show from ASSE. They are an exchange student organization. And so I believe we may have a student from Spain that will be on the show with us. So we're looking forward to that. And then we'll wrap it up on Friday with our good friend Randy Thompson of Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine. Man, we got another opportunity for food on Friday. Kaye, you and Rick may just have to drop by and say hello, Kyle, come on in, man. So that'll wrap it up here as we always celebrate our community. We appreciate all of you very much. Want to remind you, too, if you're looking for a church home, would love to have you at First Baptist. as we have services at 10:45 in the morning. I joke around and say, and it's true though, Pastor Jason Bay will get you out of there by noon. So if you need to be out by noon, big football fan, Dallas Cowboy fan, come on, we're going to be all right. Kyle, you're not a Cowboys fan.
Not at all.
I saw the lip twitch, and he's like, don't mention that trash in here, man. That'll wrap it up, friends, as I end every show reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Until next time, we'll see you back at it bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow, as we'll be giving away more prizes and celebrating the good in Huntsville. Have a blessed day, everyone.